What's going on, everyone? Crazy Russian 86 here, back again with another freaking video. You know, lately I've been kind of feeling down, depressed, like I feel like I don't give a shit about nothing. Because I'm thinking like, what are we living for? I know partially it's laziness too, because like I need to, it seems like this life is all about doing things, People respect you if you do something, you achieve something. It's not all about like social stuff, it's about like taking care of business, right? But the thing is, it's good. Care of business, do things. But then people treat you like you're retarded, there is something wrong with you, you just don't care about nothing. You're just like, I don't give a shit. What's the point? And people are backwards about that too. Because think, if you're retarded or whatever, you're like a child, you need to listen to your parents, whatever. Fuck that. If I can take care of my shit by myself, I don't need to listen to nobody. See? I don't need to listen to nobody really if I can do it by myself. And besides, if you're retarded, if you cannot do anything with your life, then why you were being born? What's the point of it? Like, life seems kind of pointless, and if life is pointless, makes you feel sad. You know? If life is all about taking care of business and doing things, and you have a disability, then it's like, what's the point of life? There's no point, really. Just sitting there, wasting it, being miserable all day. Other sad things about life are, before I always wanted to have youth, to be popular, to have friends, get things in life. And then soon I realized if you don't fit in, you're not gonna get a lot. But then here's another kick to it. When I looked at people around me, not a lot of people having that much. We all like kind of equal across the board in America. It seems like people are cogs in the mechanism. And that actually makes me sad because it's like, why am I me? Why I live how I want to live? Why I think what I think? But there is nothing special about me. Then what's the point of all of that? If all we are is a cogs in mechanism, and there is not better than anyone else, no one is better than you, then all our life is all about just like living like robots, We just like here to be born, to learn some shit, to go to work, to get the money, so then we can support our family, so then we can get old and then die, and that's it. It's just like we are working roads, we are working robots on the way to the cemetery, Like, what's the point of life? Like, that seems kind of sad. And I know I did narcissism quiz, and people say that if you feel like you want to amount something nice in the world, you think you're so beautiful, you're narcissistic individual, this is so bad. But then again, what's good of being the freaking regular peon? It's like, it's just kind of depressing to think that All we are here is to do the job, be a societal slave, and just be part of the horde. Like, what's the point of all of that? Do everything like a normal people, act this way. Like, this is slavery, And once you do what you want, what you truly want, people gonna hate you for it. People never liked me, but I learned not to care. But before I felt inspiration, I felt purpose, I felt that I'm really out there to bring something to the world, some kind of awareness and understanding. And of course there are a lot of stupid people who twist it and turn it and make it seem like I don't know what I'm talking about. And then they get butthurt and they hear the truth. That just makes me sad, to see how stupid people are. And I know I'm not the smartest person either. I made my mistakes. And I give people the power, for their ways of thinking, but they just said, like, life seemed to be like sad. And obviously I don't want to do nothing. Like, people tell me, go to school, study accounting. I don't know. But every time when I was actually doing what I wanted, such as things which I wanted, such as making these videos, thinking about things, looking at people, looking at things, figuring this world out, and sharing it with people. People like, oh, you loser, you don't understand anything, there's something wrong with you. Well, even if it is, because I'm borderline autistic, which is true, but I don't care. So what? Einstein and Eminem war. They took care of business. So what? In my case, I don't even care about people anyway. Like, most of the people, they don't even interest me. So I don't really give two shits, But what's the point? It's good for people to be aware of things, so that way they're not going to, to get mad at you for something you cannot do or whatever. But it's another thing to disable people. I don't need to be disabled. For what? I can take care of business. I don't need no fucking help. And I don't even care if people helping me. It's actually making me angry, Because I really can figure things out, see? It's stupid people who need help. And I know I'm gullible in some ways. I'm lacking social skills, but rather than that, I'm not stupid. I'm able to figure things out. And now I even know that, what? Life was all about doing things. Life was all about work. And that makes me think that Joseph Stalin was right. Joseph Stalin, people like Stalin and Hitler, they actually, You know, people say they're all like bad and all of that, but like really, if you really think about it, all of these people who were like getting rid of all these people who like retarded or whatever, they will end in misery. Because you know, I've been thinking a lot about it. Like if let's say there's something wrong with you and you cannot live normal life all your life. You cannot get woman you want, people like, oh, do you need help, this and that. Your life is over, what's the point? Now, if you have some kind of disability, but you're able to turn it around and do something which nobody else did before and become famous, then yeah, that's like great. But if you're just like this retarded person who cannot get shit in life, then what's the point? All you're doing in your life is suffering and complaining. Just sad life. It's very depressing life. So before, when we had natural selection, we just like stop the sufferings. Now, we make these people suffer because we want to be so-called humane, but then we still treat them like imbeciles, and people still cannot get what they want in life and live how they want. And people, you know, suffering, I guess. And then that makes me think like, what's the point? In fact, for life, your life doesn't have any meaning. Sometimes to end it is probably the best thing, you know. But now we're forcing these people to live a life of misery because we want to be humane, and then we're spending money on them, and then we still treat them like shit, and we're still not letting these people, you know, be different. So it's like, it's all very sad, you know. It's very sad. So these people are not giving birth to another generation, not creating anything. All we care about is prolonging these people's lives. And government pays for prolonging these people's lives. So they live like vegetables so they can be alive. And we like, be careful, don't hurt yourself, ta. People live like vegetables all their lives because we want to be humane. But what's the point? This is not life. To live your life like a vegetable when you know you're not gonna amount to nothing and you cannot even do things or live how I want. It's very depressing life, you know. Then and all good people are doing for you is they are making you live longer like a vegetable so they can be humane, but instead of just like cutting you off. But we're all gonna die anyway, so what the fuck? What's the difference? Like, is it really better to live all your life as a vegetable, or just like live short and just like, you know, end it? But be free and say, you know what? I lived a short life, but I lived how I wanted. We're all taught to think that life is all about living, but if there is nothing you can do if you don't fit in, then like, what's the point? That makes me like sad, because like life seems So pointless after all. Very pointless. Very pointless. And not enjoyable either. But the thing is, running with the crowd, see, people are thinking that life is all about running with the crowd and getting friends. But people like people who do something with their lives. So what's the point of all these friends? Sometimes being left alone is better than to be with the wrong people, because with the wrong people, you're gonna be alone anyway because you cannot fit in. They're gonna make fun of you, take advantage of you. And of course, there are people who may feel bad for you, whatever. But then, if that's the case, if they feel sorry, all they're doing is like, oh, poor guy, let's watch him. But what kind of life is that? Like, seems very sad. It's sad not to live how you want to live because of the society and people around you who tell you what are your problems and things like that. It's sad, you know? What we are living for? Just to be this part of this stupid ass crowd? That make life pointless, meaningless, and depressing. And then everything has time, and you know, like I'm 33 years old, Jesus' age, I'm getting older. So things like drinking and smoking, they're not as fun for me anymore. When I look at life, I'm like, you know what? That's actually was getting me in trouble. That I was so focused on having friends, hanging out, drinking, smoking. This is how people take advantage of you. You get so desperate for friendships. People look at you, there's something wrong with you, take advantage of you, they don't give a fuck. And then you start working. And that's how you get better. People don't want to be friends with you if you're not on their level. I can just see it all the time with all the people. So that's why I'm thinking that whatever Joseph Stalin did when he was like putting people to jail for not having jobs and things like that, that was actually good policy. I completely agree with him. If life was all about working and doing things, then yeah. Get rid of unemployment and kill all the unemployed and stop finding all those fucking parasitic programs. You know, cut the bullshit off, you know. Life is survival of the fittest, let's be real. Because what we're doing now, we're prolonging lives of people who, and prolonging their misery. and they are giving these people money for no reason instead of putting them to work. It's very sad, you know, like life just seems pointless. And I have friends who have the kids with disabilities. I know, like me, people say I may have a little bit of disability, whatever, but I understand everybody want, you know, everybody deserve life. You need to be humane, but at the same time, it's like it's just sad, you know. For people to be living their lives like vegetables all their lives and not being able to enjoy it, figure things out. They just sad. By the end of the day, I'm looking at everything. Like all these people, who so-called normal people. They don't make a lot of money, they make bad decisions too. You know, they all have their challenges as well. And at the end of the day, it's all temporary, we're all gonna die, and what's the point of all of this? Then people say we need to be kind to other people, but lying to people and disabling people, that's not kindness. Life was like a survival of the fittest anyway. In life, it seems to be like doing things. Life, it seems like, you know, in this life, like everything can is it's something, you know. Like there is always like it seems like a circle of life and death. And no matter how big or strong you are, someday you're gonna be on the peak and then you're gonna go down and vice versa. It's like a parabola, you know, it's like it seems like kind of pointless too, you know, like and sad. And obviously there are a lot of people who just stupid. And if you're really good, your reward gonna be you're gonna leave this world early. Everything just, like, it's very sad, this life is just fucking sad. Like, and pointless. When you're young, you're dumb, you have a lot of hopes. When you get older, you're like, you know what? I better get family. And then you get even older, you're like, you know what? I don't give a shit. And then you know what? It's all over now. So yeah, if you don't leave the legacy after yourself, or kids, or both, your life is just a waste. And when people say we want you to be normal, be like everybody else, what? Be just like an average Joe who just goes to work, gets money, and then he dies and then nobody gives a fuck. And there is no record of that average Joe. What's the point? This is what people want me to be. Because they want my life to be easy. And they being kind and humane. They don't know shit about shit. All they do is disable me. That's stupid. They don't know any better. These people actually preventing me from living life. And that makes me depressed, see? I watched you in that video where it says that laziness creates mental illness and mediocrity. It's very true. Very true. If you're not working hard or striving for something, you live like a vegetable. But then if you do or you don't, one day you're gonna die. So the only reason to live is just to do what you want and leave a legacy. But if people not let you do what you want, then your life has no point, no meaning. And that's how I've been feeling lately. I've been feeling like what am I living for? What's it all about? It's meaningless, worthless life. Peace out.